It started with a lie so small, it almost sounded innocent. "Relax, Liam," my girlfriend said. "It's just a book club." But how many book clubs meet every Friday, every Saturday, and then spill into Sundays too, always with her ex, Tyler? 3 years together, and Jade still looked me in the eye, swearing nothing was happening. Yet I saw the late-night texts she tried to hide, the unexplained weekends away, the grin she couldn't suppress when his name lit up her phone. So I'll ask you this. When the person you sacrificed everything for betrays you, do you swallow the pain, or do you serve them the kind of revenge they'll never forget? My name is Liam Carter, 31 years old, financial analyst from Denver. For 3 years, I believed Jade and I were building something real. We weren't just dating, we were planning a life. Marriage, kids, a home of our own. 6 months earlier, I had even made the biggest sacrifice of my career, turning down a dream offer in London. $130,000 a year, international exposure, a new life. And I gave it all up, for her. On the surface, everything looked perfect. Jade was the one friends envied. She decorated our apartment with candles, rugs, and little touches that made it feel like home. We split the bills, cooked dinners together, laughed in front of others. People said we were the couple who had it figured out. But behind closed doors, it wasn't so simple. She grew distant. The late nights, the phone she never let out of her hand, the way she brushed off intimacy as if it were a chore. At first, I told myself it was stress from work. That's what love does, it makes you find excuses. Until Tyler came back into the picture. Tyler. This. Not just any ex, the one she swore was toxic, a mistake, someone she'd never let back into her life. Except now, suddenly he was her friend. And their little hangout? A so-called book club. At first, it was harmless. One Friday night. Then it spread to Saturdays. Before long, Sundays too. Every weekend, like clockwork, Jade had somewhere else to be. Always with him. I finally confronted her one night. My voice was calm, but my chest was tight. "Jade, why are you spending so much time with Tyler? You told me he was poison." She didn't flinch. Instead, she crossed her arms, smirked, and delivered the line that burned into my skull. "If you can't trust me hanging out with my ex, maybe you're the problem. Maybe we shouldn't even be together." It wasn't a request for trust. It wasn't reassurance. It was an ultimatum. That night, she left for her book club again, and I sat alone in the apartment, staring at the email I'd saved, the London job offer. A salary that could change my future. A city filled with possibilities. Most importantly, a life without Jade's lies. By sunrise, the decision that had haunted me for months became crystal clear. I wasn't going to beg for her honesty anymore. I wasn't going to compete with Tyler, with book club, with the games. I was done. When Jade came home that morning, I didn't raise my voice. I didn't throw accusations. I simply looked her in the eye and said, "Congratulations, you freed me." She laughed, tossing her purse on the counter like I was bluffing. "Sure, Liam. You always say things you don't mean when you're upset." Except this time, I wasn't bluffing. I pulled out my phone and forwarded her an email, the signed acceptance letter for my London job. The one I'd turned down months earlier for her. Now it was official. Her face drained of color. "Wait, you're leaving? Just like that?" "Not just like that," I said. 3 years too late. That week, while she was off at another book club, I changed the locks. When she returned, pounding on the door, demanding answers, I didn't even open it. I just texted her 2 words. "Check your inbox." Inside? Screenshots. Late-night text to Tyler. Flirty emojis. Weekend plans. Hotel receipts. Every lie she thought she could bury, I had dug up and laid bare. Her reply came fast, full of venom. "You're insecure. Tyler and I are just friends. You're blowing this out of proportion." Classic gaslighting. But this time, it fell flat. Because I wasn't the only one seeing the truth anymore. Her sister, Marissa, called me later that night, voice sharp with anger. "How dare you treat Jade this way? She said you locked her out of her own home. What the hell is wrong with you?" I listened quietly, then forwarded the same screenshots to her phone. Silence. 10 seconds. 15. Finally, a faint whisper, "Oh my God." Another ally gone. The fallout spread fast. Mutual friends started whispering. When they asked why Jade and I split, I gave the same answer every time. Asked Jade about her book club. That line was enough. The truth traveled faster than I ever could. Even her parents started calling, demanding explanations from her. The perfect image Jade had crafted, loyal girlfriend, responsible daughter, was unraveling thread by thread. And the biggest twist? Tyler wasn't even hers. Turns out, Tyler already had a girlfriend, Olivia. The so-called book club wasn't about novels. It was about stolen weekends, sneaky hotel rooms, and lies on top of lies. Olivia found out through the same whispers. And once she had the screenshots, Jade's little affair became an exposed scandal. One night, Jade cornered me in the parking lot outside my building. Tears in her eyes, mascara streaking down her cheeks, she hissed, "You'll regret this. Nobody will believe you." I couldn't help but laugh. "They already do, Jade. They already do." And with that, she wasn't just my ex. She was a liar with no credibility, watching her world collapse while mine was just beginning to open. I wasn't going to scream, throw things, or beg her to change. That's exactly what Jade expected, an emotional meltdown she could twist into her narrative. No, my revenge would be silent, precise, and impossible to deny. Step 1. Lock down my finances. I rerouted my salary into a brand new account she didn't know existed. I canceled the joint card and froze the emergency fund she thought she could still access. The very next weekend, she went out to brunch with friends, ordered mimosas for the table, and watched her card get declined. She texted me furiously. I didn't answer. Step 2. Protect my future. I wasn't just leaving, I was making sure she had no way to drag me down financially. My lawyer filed the necessary documents, citing infidelity, ensuring she had no claim on my assets. With every paper filed, I could feel the weight lifting off my shoulders. For once, I wasn't just reacting, I was building a wall she couldn't climb. Step 3. Drop the truth bombs. No angry rants online. No poor me posts. Just clean, surgical exposure. I sent the receipts, screenshots of her texts, timestamps of her weekend book clubs, even photos Tyler had uploaded that matched her so-called girls' nights. I didn't blast it to the world, only to the people who mattered. Mutual friends, her parents, and most importantly, Olivia. The explosion was immediate. Olivia called me furious, not at me but at Tyler. She'd been fed the same lies, told that the book club was harmless fun. But Olivia wasn't just angry. She was resourceful. Working in state taxation gave her access to certain records, and when she dug around, she discovered Jade had been skipping her city tax filings for years. I didn't need to lift a finger. Olivia filed the report. Within weeks, Jade received notice of back taxes and penalties totaling nearly $18,000. Karma doesn't always wait. It moves fast when pushed in the right direction. But I wasn't done. Financial pain was one thing. Social humiliation? That was the real sting. When Jade tried smearing me online, calling me controlling and toxic, I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. Instead, I watched as dozens of people, friends, coworkers, even casual acquaintances, flooded her comments with the same mocking phrase. "How's the book club?" 3 words, over and over, until her posts became a graveyard of sarcasm and disbelief. She wanted to paint me as the villain. Instead, she became the punchline. And me? I didn't raise my voice once. My revenge was paperwork, screenshots, and a phrase that would follow her for years. By the time my flight to London rolled around, Jade was already unraveling. She begged to meet me at the airport, swore she just needed one last chance to explain. Instead, I sent her a selfie from Heathrow, passport in hand, boarding pass visible, and a smile that said more than words ever could. It wasn't anger she saw. It was closure. 2 months later, my life felt like it had been reborn. I was thriving. The new job in London was everything I'd hoped for, challenging, rewarding, and paying more than I'd ever dreamed back home. My apartment overlooked the Thames, my co-workers respected me, and for the first time in years, I woke up without a knot in my chest. Jade? She wasn't thriving. She was back in her childhood bedroom at her parents' house. Her carefully curated, perfect life crumbled to dust. And then came Olivia's hammer. True to her word, Olivia filed the tax report. Jade received an official notice, over $18,000 owed in back taxes and penalties. The fallout was swift. Jade tried spinning her story, painting me as controlling and paranoid, but it didn't work. Our mutual circle already knew the truth. Screenshots don't lie. Even her sister, Marissa, the one who once accused me of being insecure, stopped defending her. The shame was too obvious, the evidence too strong. And Tyler? He didn't ride off into the sunset with Jade. In fact, he ghosted her almost immediately. Worse, Olivia went public, posting the affair details online. Screenshots, timestamps, captions. Tyler became a joke in town. People who once thought of him as the charming guy back from out of state now called him something else entirely, Mr. Book Club. Every time someone said it, I felt that cold satisfaction all over again. 3 little words that destroyed their credibility more than I ever could. But the most satisfying moment came months later. Out of nowhere, Jade tracked me down in London. She showed up outside my building, looking tired, desperate, and carrying the same fake confidence she used to manipulate me. She admitted everything. That she'd slept with Tyler, twice. That she'd lied about being pregnant just to keep me around. And then she actually said the words, "I made a mistake. We can start over, Liam. I'll move here, we can fix this." I stared her dead in the eyes and felt nothing. No anger. No love. Just clarity. "I gave up a $130,000 future for you once," I told her. "Never again." Her face crumbled, and for the first time, I saw Jade without the manipulations, without the charm, without the smirk. Just a broken liar standing in the ruins she built herself. And then I turned, walked away, and left her standing there. My life had already moved on. Hers was stuck in the past. Looking back now, I realized Jade's betrayal wasn't just about sleeping with her ex. It went deeper than that. It was about the sheer disrespect. She believed I would always be the safe option, the guy who sacrificed opportunities, who bent over backward to accommodate her moods, who would never actually walk away no matter how badly she crossed the line. But she underestimated me. The truth is, I didn't just lose a girlfriend, I shed a liar. A manipulator. Someone who thought gaslighting me would keep me trapped in her web forever. And in exchange for letting her go, I gained something far more valuable than her empty promises: freedom. Jade ended up with nothing. No Tyler, he bailed on her as soon as Olivia exposed the truth. No apartment, her name wasn't on the lease. No reputation, everyone in our circle knew the truth about the infamous book club. No credibility, her lies collapsed under the weight of her own arrogance. What she did have was debt, disgrace, and regret that followed her everywhere. And me? I rebuilt from the ground up. I seized the opportunity one should have taken months earlier. London wasn't just a career move, it was my escape hatch, my clean slate, my proof that life doesn't end when someone betrays you. In fact, it often begins. I secured a permanent role, doubled my income, and surrounded myself with people who respect me. And yes, I'm seeing someone new now. A woman who doesn't need book clubs or fake excuses to explain where she's been. She's honest, consistent, and most importantly, she makes me feel secure without me even having to ask. The lesson I took from all this is painfully simple, yet life-changing. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. Don't waste years trying to rewrite their character. Don't cling to illusions just because you're afraid of starting over. Walk away with dignity, protect your future, and trust yourself enough to know that betrayal is never the end of the story, it's the beginning of a better one. And here's the part that stings for people like Jade. Sometimes, the most satisfying revenge isn't confrontation, or shouting, or even exposing their lies. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge is silence. Success. Living so well that they can't stand the sight of your happiness, because it reminds them of what they lost and will never get back. So, if you're ever faced with someone who treats you like a backup plan, remember my story. Don't just survive betrayal, outgrow it. Because in the end, the best justice isn't destroying them. It's proving they never had the power to destroy you. That was my story, but now it's your turn. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted completely, only to realize you were nothing more than a backup plan in their game? How did you respond? Did you cut ties and move on? Or did you serve your revenge cold, just like I did? Drop your story in the comments below. I read them all. And if you crave more raw, unfiltered cheating stories with real justice, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell.